the service. Ambulance is now en route along with the 2 fire engines, and very shortly we shall see the 2 fire engines come into the yard. As you will shortly see, the first fire engine coming in is the Dennis Appliance with a crew of the fire engine. The first fire engine is the Dennis Appliance. At this moment in time, the lead appliance as we can see, we have a real fire call coming at the same time, which shows the job that these guys do day in, day out. So we have another fire appliance which is now going to attend a real incident. You can see the officer in charge there, donated by his white tabard that he's wearing there. He's now asked the crews to sit and pitch what we call a 13.5 metre ladder. Takes a crew of 4 people, a very heavy piece of equipment that weighs approximately 110 kilograms. To prove that the firefighters have a very physically demanding job. They've now run out what we call a hose reel towards the inlet to supply some water. As you can see, the importance of the officer in charge, he has to raise his voice slightly there to get the crews to do what he needs to do. As you can see, another firefighter is now throwing a line or a rope out of the window. We believe there's another casualty that may be up there, and this casualty may sustain some more injuries. We suspect this casualty may have perhaps some spinal injuries, so the firefighters are going to rescue this casualty using a specialist piece of equipment called a paraguard. This piece of equipment that the City of Harare Firebrigade have is very, very useful for either rescuing people who've had a fall or stuck at a height, and they can raise and lower somebody under complete control. One of the firefighters is looking down the rear of the property. We always make sure that we check every angle and look for any risks that are there. You will also see a piece of equipment next to the firefighter on the right hand side, a piece of equipment that looks like a giant fan. This piece of equipment is called positive pressure ventilation. The idea of it is that it blows air inside a building and clears the building with smoke. We've brought 4 PPVs over on this mission, and hopefully these will be used throughout the City of Harare, and it will make firefighter safety, it will improve firefighter safety dramatically, and it will also help resolve incidents very quickly. It won't be as effective on this building because it has a lot of open windows. In a normal high-rise building or even a property fire, we can use it to direct the smoke through one opening and out of one exit, and firefighters can carry out the task very, very quickly when we use this piece of equipment. As you can see, the casualty is now being brought down, and she's now being handed over to City of Harare Ambulance Service, the emergency medical technicians. These guys are now going to have a look at the casualty and administer some oxygen and check the casualty for any burns. We've now committed a further BA crew, and their goal will be to search and rescue any other casualties that may be inside of the building. Officer in charge again, constantly reassessing any risks that's there. Officer in charge has a lot of responsibility at the fire. He's responsible for every person who's on there, including the casualty. So there's quite a lot of pressure on these guys. An incredible amount of information to think about in a very, very short period of time. Throughout the last 2 weeks, the courses have been running in breathing apparatus and road traffic collision. The firefighters that you see, the firefighters and junior officers that you see in front of you have completed both courses. So they've spent 5 days on breathing apparatus and 5 days on road traffic collision. The following drill will be based solely around road traffic collisions. As you can now see, we have a casualty. We're not using a live casualty on this occasion, we're using one of our rescue dummies. So as you can see, they've completely immobilised the casualty using the paraguard, and they're making sure that he doesn't sustain any further injuries either from his neck or back or anything else that may be, and they're lowering him under control to the waiting emergency medical technicians. As you can see, the professionalism of these crews, they resolved the incident extremely quickly. From the time they had a ladder into the window, they had 4 breathing apparatus wearers under complete control. You can see at the rear of one of the fire engines there's a whiteboard. This board is a way of recording where firefighters are at any time. Every time a firefighter goes